Hi, right, folks. Welcome back to Glesga News. Right, okay. I'm just about to show you a wee video that I've made on what's happening with the coronavirus. I've been kind of staying away from this, just kind of watching what's been going on, and I'm not really quite sure if we're getting to tell the whole truth. So I've tried to pull a few bits and pieces from various sources. Now, this wee kind of map here that we're looking at is a sort of, well, gives you a sort of idea of where the most serious stuff is. And as of this is Wednesday, the 26th of February. This one isn't completely up to date. I think there's more information in the video, but it gives you an amazing view of the world in terms of the infection rate. As you can see over here, in China, there's 78,000 plus have been diagnosed with the coronavirus, or COVID-19 I think it's called now. South Korea has got over 1,200, Japan is over 800. India says it's only got 3. I don't believe that for a minute. That's going to because they've got a border on China, so that's going to go mental. Singapore is 91, and look how far away they are. So I'm waiting in India blowing up. Russia says it's only got 2. Well, that would make sense because a lot of that land there is there's not a lot of cities. I would imagine right near the border here you maybe get outbreaks, but deeper into Russia, I'm not so sure it's made its way in there. But look at Iran. Iran here. Iran has 100 plus, and last night the deputy health minister for Iran was given a speech alongside the real health minister, and the purpose of the speech was to try and calm people down with regard to the coronavirus. And during the speech, he's mopping his brow, and he's sweating really bad. An hour after he came off the stage, he was diagnosed with the coronavirus. So if that doesn't tell you what's going on, nothing will. So it says Israel's got 2, but here's something that's really crazy. Look at Italy. Italy, right out of the blue, has suddenly got 300 cases. 300 cases. Germany's got 18, France 17, Britain 13. Italy 300 cases. Apparently they're struggling to find I think they call it case 0, the person that brought it in, the person that started the infection, or persons. And all they're really dealing now is with the aftermath of that. If you look across here, you've got Canada says it's only got 11, America got 57, and Brazil it only says it's 1, but only says 1. It says Egypt here in the middle has only got 1, but I know for a fact that you'll see later in the video that Afghanistan's got it, Kuwait's got it, Bahrain's got it. I don't know if Saudi Arabia, but there's a lot more happening in the Middle East. But anyway, without further ado, I'm going to start this wee video, and at the end of it, if you like the content, please subscribe, like and comment if you wish. Peace out.
It was in early December that a new virus began spreading through the city of Wuhan. Rumours circulated, online at first. For weeks, the authorities kept quiet.
Concerns are growing that a new respiratory virus in the Chinese city of Wuhan could spread rapidly.
In Wuhan, they're taking wartime measures. People rounded up and placed in quarantine. Residents restricted from leaving their homes. But in the initial weeks, crucial time was lost. A young doctor who would later contract the virus and die was accused of spreading false information as the authorities tried to play down the outbreak. It's estimated that 5 million people left Wuhan before a lockdown was imposed by the local government. Beijing has sacked the two top party officials in Hubei, the province at the centre of the outbreak.
How the virus sprung up in this cluster of rural towns is still a mystery. But now Italy has 219 cases, 5 people are confirmed to have died, and 50,000 people are locked down in the quarantine zone. Meanwhile, Iran stands accused of covering up the scale of its outbreak. 66 cases and 12 deaths are the official figures, but one MP claims the true number is more than 50 deaths. And that might explain why 6 other countries, including Kuwait, Lebanon and Canada, now have cases linked to travellers from Iran.
In this part of the world, so the Middle East, Iran emerging as a regional breeding ground. From there, we've seen the pathogen spreading out to Iraq and Afghanistan, Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, even as far as Lebanon. Remember, for some of these countries, sealing off Iran is a very difficult political calculation. But others are taking a lead. Turkey, Afghanistan, Iraq and Pakistan are sealing off their borders in some way or another with the Islamic Republic.
Able to think that less than 2 months ago, this coronavirus was completely unknown to us. The past few weeks have demonstrated just how quickly a new virus can spread around the world, causing widespread fear and disruption.
The fact that Iran and Italy are new potential sources of infection leads experts to fear we are edging closer to a global pandemic. Today, French police intercepted this bus from Italy as it arrived in the city of Lyon. The driver reportedly taken to hospital to undergo tests. The impact of the Italian outbreak is already reaching across Europe's borders.
The infection rate of 60% of the population, which has been suggested by some of your colleagues, is realistic for Britain.
Potentially, given we know a lot about how these sort of viruses spread, we have lots of data from past epidemics, from influenza. Given how transmissible this virus appears to be, and the fact that at least all adults can be infected, we have much less data in children, then 60% is a reasonable figure for the epidemic size within the first 12 months or so. Is that maybe 1% of people who get infected might die.
And in a mortality rate of 1%, that's 400,000 people.
Was a member of the Sincheonji religious group for 11 years, the group at the heart of South Korea's spike in coronavirus cases. He says he was the international affairs director and interpreter for its founder and chairman, Lee Man-hee. His mother-in-law was Lee's partner. He says the nature of the group makes it easier for a virus to spread. He says friends from within the group told him they were banned from wearing masks as it's disrespectful to God.
They're packed together like sardines in one area. They're forced to sit line in line, and literally your knees will be touching the other person's knee.
Missing services because of illness was not an option, he says.
You take roll call. You're given a card, like a little credit card, and when you go to church, you have to swipe it like you're going to work.
The group itself says it deeply regrets the outbreak, but insists they are cooperating with authorities.
We are sincerely urging everyone to recognise that Sincheonji Church and its devotees are the biggest victims of the coronavirus and refrain from hate and groundless attacks.
But Daegu police say 600 officers had been tasked with tracking down hundreds of missing members, knocking on doors, tracking phone calls, scouring CCTV footage to track members' movements. Kim says members from around the world may have been in South Korea twice in recent weeks, once for an annual gathering like this one from a few years ago, and the funeral of the leader's brother from January 31st to February 2nd in a hospital in Cheongdo. Numerous coronavirus infections and deaths have since been recorded at the same hospital.
This isn't just a Korean issue. This is
not just a Korean issue, because since those people from overseas all gathered together at once, what happens is we don't know how many of those people who went back overseas are infected as well.
Sincheonji claims it has 230,000 members, with bases in the United States, China, South Africa and Germany, to name a few. Professor Tak Ji-il has been studying the group for many years.
Sincheonji people hide who they are, and then to recruit people, they go into the church and try to recruit Christian.